Amy the a-hole for canceling my wedding. My possibly soon-to-be ex, M28, and I, F25, were due to be married less than a week ago. We are very untraditional and spent the night before together just talking and reminiscing on what got us to that point. I've always known he is bi, and it's never been an issue. It's just who he is. We have a very close-knit group of friends, and he and his best friend grew up together and were one another's support system throughout university. He's been very open about all this since I first met him. However, one thing I wasn't aware of is that they were involved, and that my possible ex is still in love with him, and the feeling is mutual. I asked him if he'd cheated on me before, and he confessed to a few slip-ups, but refused to go into detail. The morning of the wedding, I woke feeling sick and just totally overwhelmed and stressed. I was questioning everything that's happened since we got together, and spoke to his best friend to confirm what I'd been told, which he did after an attempt to lie. I've canceled the wedding and told him I need time to think, but I'm not sure I can get past the cheating. I feel emotionally shattered. It's only been a few days, but his family and mine keep calling me trying to get me to feel guilty for my choice. We were paying for our wedding ourselves, and it was a small local affair, but I understand people might be disappointed that something they've waited for isn't going to happen, possibly ever. I'm sorry it's taken a bit to update. I've been waiting for things to settle, and it's taken a while. When I wrote my post, I was emotionally wrecked and desperately in need of an outsider's perspective. I haven't answered every comment I got, but I have read them all and wanted to say thank you to everyone who took their time to reply. Most of the comments were very thoughtful and supportive, and I can't tell you how much that meant. On to the situation itself. I gave myself some time to get my head straight and get tested. Thankfully, I was given the all clear for my tests, so the next thing was to deal with everything. I invited my ex-fiancé and his best friend over for dinner. I know that sounds weird to do, but I thought I wanted to talk to them and do it in a scenario we were all comfortable in, or as comfortable as we could be. They agreed. Being able to observe the both of them through a new lens also really helped, and they're definitely in love with one another just by their mannerisms and the way they are when they think no one is looking. I wish I'd clocked on so much sooner. My ex kept apologizing, and the more he apologized, the more upset his best friend was getting, and the more he retracted that apology to the best friend. I told him it wasn't about apologies anymore, I just wanted to understand. What I've gathered from the whole thing is that, as many of you have pointed out, I've been an unsuspecting beard for our entire relationship. Granted, it seems to be unwittingly, but still. I think there's some deep homophobia running through my ex as he reacted negatively when I asked if he thought perhaps he might be gay, not bi, and when his best friend tried to talk, he shut him down so fast I actually felt a little bit bad for him, the bestie. I also found out that where I thought he told his family he was bi, he actually hasn't. Some of our mutual close friends know, but that seems to be it. Nevertheless, my ex and I are not getting back together. The engagement is officially over, and I've swapped out my phone number to avoid some of the ridiculous texts I'm getting from various guests. To those who've asked after discussing it with my ex, I've simply said that he's not who I thought he was, and left it at that. It's the truth without going into any details. It's up to him if he wants to stay in the closet, but I'm not getting involved any longer. I gave him back his engagement ring, and though he asked if we could keep in touch, I feel like it's done. His best friend also offered to pay for my wedding dress as an apology for his part in it. I declined, but the offer was still nice. I will be moving soon, found a place just waiting for the moving date, and I'm looking forward to starting fresh in a new home. I realized I couldn't be in that house and wonder as I went round where my ex and his best friend had cheated on me, and analyzing every memory. It's been exhausting, and I'm still very much devastated, but I am so glad I went with my gut and canceled the wedding when I did because it would have been such a mistake to go ahead with it. I've gotten a therapist to help me, and I suggested, gently, that my ex and his best friend also get one. I don't know if they will, but I think it'd help the both of them.